I introduced myself as a single parent who built everything from nothing. I described my relationship with my daughter, Lena, and how proud I was of raising her alone after my husband's death. The chapter centers on the moment she gives me the ultimatum. Sitting across from me, Lena says, "If you can't pay for my dream wedding, don't expect to be part of my future." I feel shocked, embarrassed, and deeply hurt. My inner monologue reveals guilt, fear of losing my grandchildren, and the pressure of emotional blackmail. Evan, her fiancé, stays silent, which hurts even more. This chapter ends with me realizing this is not about money, it's about control. I explain how I start selling pieces of my life, my savings, my retirement fund, even my late husband's watch to gather the $520,000. I keep telling myself this is what good parents do. My friend Marianne warns me that I'm being used, but I refuse to listen. Lena becomes colder as the money flows, only contacting me when another payment is due. I overhear Evan joking about my limitless wallet, and it cuts deep. Still, I pay every bill in silence. This chapter shows my emotional self-betrayal and how love slowly turns into fear-driven obedience. The wedding day arrives, and I expect gratitude. Instead, I'm treated like a stranger. My seat is in the back. Lena barely looks at me. When I try to speak to her, she snaps, "Please don't embarrass me today." I realize I paid for a celebration I wasn't welcome in. During the reception, I overhear Lena's mother-in-law, Carol, mocking me for being desperate to belong. I smile through humiliation. The chapter ends with me leaving early, standing alone in the parking lot, realizing I lost more than money. I lost my place in my daughter's life. Weeks after the wedding, I stop hearing from Lena. My calls go unanswered. When I finally confront her, she says, "We need space. You're too much." I realized the threat was real. I paid everything and still lost access to my grandchildren. My emotional collapse is raw and honest. Marianne stays with me through sleepless nights. I question my worth as a mother and replay every sacrifice I ever made. This chapter focuses on grief, abandonment, and the painful truth that love given without boundaries becomes a weapon against you. I begin to notice changes. Evan loses his job. Lena starts calling again, but only to complain. She asks for help, not forgiveness. Through tense phone calls, I learn their marriage is falling apart under debt and pressure. I say less now. I listen more. For the first time, I don't rush to save her. My silence becomes my power. I meet Daniel, a financial advisor, who helps me see how deeply I was manipulated. This chapter marks the shift where I stop begging for love and start protecting myself. Lena shows up unannounced, crying. Evan has been cheating, the money is gone, friends disappeared. She expects me to fix everything again. When she says, "You're my mother, you owe me," something inside me finally breaks. I respond calmly, "I already paid my debt." This is the most dialogue-heavy chapter, filled with confrontation, tears, and long-buried truths. For the first time, I choose myself. Lena leaves, angry and scared. I focus on rebuilding my life. I downsize, find peace, and reconnect with myself. Daniel helps me stabilize financially. Marianne reminds me that love should never cost dignity. Lena tries again, this time softer, but still without accountability. I don't shut the door, but I don't open it fully either. I finally understand that boundaries are not punishment, they are protection. This chapter shows quiet strength replacing desperation. Months later, Lena returns, not to ask for money, but to apologize. Her voice shakes as she admits she used me. She says losing me was harder than losing the money. I don't forgive instantly. I tell her how deeply she broke me. This emotional confrontation is slow, painful, and honest. I agree to rebuild, but on my terms. The grandchildren are mentioned again, not as leverage, but as hope. The story closes with reflection. I didn't win through revenge, I won through self-respect. I still love my daughter, but I no longer disappear to keep her close. I end by saying I paid $520,000 for a wedding, but the real cost taught me my worth. The final line reinforces emotional closure and strength.